We all wear masks. Some don them more frequently, others more convincingly. And no, we're not talking about the kind that covered our faces during a pandemic. We're speaking of the social masks we hide behind, the personas we adopt to fit in, to seem normal. But what is normal, really? We all strive to be liked, and many of us have learned that the more we mirror those around us, the easier it is to gain their acceptance. Yet, there's a cost. The more we act out roles, the more we drift away from our true selves. Have you ever spent time with someone and left feeling drained, even though it was only a short meeting? Or spent hours with someone else and felt more alive than ever? That difference, that energy or lack thereof, often comes down to the effort required to maintain a social facade. Wearing a mask is tiring, and while many people can drop it when they're with close friends or family, others become so accustomed to their masks that they forget where it ends and they begin. When the line between authenticity and performance blurs, the mental exhaustion that follows is nearly impossible to describe to those who haven't experienced it. Over the past decade, as therapy has become more accessible and conversations about mental health have flourished on social media, terms like narcissist, sociopath, and psychopath have been thrown around more casually. Many have begun labeling ex-partners or difficult family members with these serious psychological conditions, perhaps finding comfort in understanding behaviors that once felt inexplicable. However, it's important to tread carefully. Diagnosing others from afar, without a professional lens, can be misleading. While understanding the why behind someone's behavior can aid healing, it can also create more harm than good if it leads to false assumptions. So why do we mask? And who are we really underneath it all? Let's dive into the psychology of it. Certain mental health conditions can make people more prone to masking. Take neurodivergence, which isn't a specific diagnosis, but a term that covers various conditions like ADHD and autism. These differences don't show up clearly on a brain scan because they manifest more noticeably in social situations. Then there's psychopathy, a term often misused but is, in reality, quite rare. Unlike neurodivergence, psychopathy is easier to detect in the brain, presenting distinct structural differences. While these conditions aren't related, they both lead individuals to adopt specific masks, be it the mask of sanity for psychopaths or the mask of socialization for many neurodivergent people. From the moment we're born, we start the process of socialization, learning how to behave, what is expected of us, and how to fit in with the group. For some, it's instinctual, something they never have to think about. Others, however, struggle to pick up on the subtleties. When to make eye contact, how to pause in a conversation, when to show emotion. The effort required to learn these behaviors builds a wall between them and the world. As a result, they live behind a permanent mask, playing a role that feels foreign, yet necessary. The idea of masking isn't new. In 1941, psychiatrist Hervey Cleckley published The Mask of Sanity, where he described how psychopaths could outwardly mimic normal human behavior while lacking genuine emotional depth. Psychopaths are aware of their differences and choose to conform to social norms rather than resist them. While their internal world may be chaotic and devoid of true empathy, they learn to appear sincere and charming, donning a mask as naturally as others breathe. While some people mask their lack of emotions, others mask behaviors considered unconventional. The default mode network in the brain, partly responsible for creating a sense of self, can be disrupted in children exposed to chronic stress. Research suggests that a well-functioning DMN is essential for a stable sense of identity, which allows people to show their true selves even when society's expectations differ. Without this, individuals may not know who they really are, resorting to constant adaptation to the external world's demands. In today's overstimulating world, some people can tune out background noise and sensory overload, while others take in every piece of information, what everyone is wearing, where they're standing, the tone of their voice. For those who absorb everything, maintaining a mask is like managing a circus of stimuli. It's no wonder they feel exhausted and detached, as though they're merely observers in their own lives. The impact of masking can be severe. It increases the risk of anxiety, depression, and burnout, turning life into a constant performance. The truth is, many of us are on a spectrum when it comes to how we focus, how we relate to others, and how we experience the world. Outwardly, a masked individual may appear normal or even excel in social situations, but internally, it's a different story, a constant battle to keep up appearances. It's time to start letting go of the act. Around those you trust, gradually unmask yourself. Turn off the filter and allow the real you to emerge. The relief that comes from being authentic is worth the discomfort of letting go. Life isn't meant to be lived in a bubble, defined by what others expect from us. As long as you aren't causing harm, be unapologetically yourself. Those who care about you will embrace the unmasked you even more. And for those who can't accept it, well, sometimes it's best to let them go. Be true to who you are without the weight of the mask. It's time to breathe freely.